And that takes me back to Garrett talking about tone, like podcast tone and all that. And the fact that I know there's a couple of listeners of the Boom who don't like me getting negative about the show, but I get negative about the show because I want it to be great. Yes. And I know how great it can be.
Yes.
And I know how easy it would be for Tony Khan to drop 10 or 15 belts and focus on the women a little more.
Yeah. And that's our whole thing. It's just like, and that's why, like, I was just, you cannot attract a Mercedes Moné or even get Becky Lynch to even consider leaving WWE to come to your product when you treat the women the way that you do. Like, you have to, if you clearly are able to attract male wrestlers to come sign with you, why then look at the women, and like, I know Becky Lynch probably did not even once consider AEW. No. And why would she?
It was like this discussion that Kevin and I had about the loss of Jade. And it's like, is it really a loss? They protected her from every popular wrestler they had. Yeah. There weren't any matches that were coming that we didn't get. And if Mercedes Moné came in, they wouldn't have matched them up, most likely.
Yeah.
They did nothing with Jade other than they Goldberged her. And I mean, you can do that with anybody. And she looked good while she was Goldberging people, but it never grew into anything.
Yeah.
And so, why would you come into a situation like that? And then you had Britt Baker be a really big deal, and then you just all of a sudden you don't see her.
Yeah, and there's some other, and I'll say, like, I keep getting cautiously optimistic is what I say, because like it's not the division that's let me down. It's the booking of the division that has let me down. And so like, I see like all the positives. Like, I love the Toni Storm stuff. I love, like, Mariah May, I think is going to be great. Now we have Deanna. I saw Scott Edwards say something about that Megan Bain is wrapping up in Japan. So I assume she'll be in AEW soon enough. But like, so there's it's the women are not the problem. It's the it's the booking, it's the characters, it's the storylines, it's the time that they're given, like, or one match per show, or they get the two. Paul wanted me to say, I just remembered, Paul was like, tell everybody that Rampage had its biggest numbers that it's had since the summertime, and that was the show with 2 women's matches on it, which is phenomenal. But also those women's matches, there was a 2.5-minute tag team match with Willow and Chris Statlander. And then there was a 9.5 minute or a 9-minute match. And he was like, you kind of just have to take what you can get. And I was like, but that's the problem. You can't, not Paul, this is not directed at Paul, but this is that mindset from these promoters that take what you can get. And that's what the women have been doing. And that's what they've been doing for 30 years. Take what you can get. No, put some damn effort into it. Just the way that you made me watch MJF for a year, who wouldn't vacate titles when he was injured.
Oh my God. And all the ring time that you give him to cut promos for hours and hours and hours.
He cuts the same promo in every big, and I don't dislike MJF or anything like that, but there's just things. He cuts the same type of promo in every feud he goes into. It's the same type of thing. And then, so give that to the women, and they're not gonna, and though, and obviously we talked about how, because Dark and Elevation aren't there anymore. Marina Shafir had that, she had a really awful promo, bless her heart. She just couldn't get it together, but I'm like, then just keep working with her until she gets it. And look at, like, Saraya's very first promo was not good, but she hadn't done a promo in 5 years, and they worked with her and they kept giving her screen time until she figured it out. Remember how awful Britt Baker was at promos when she first started?
Yeah.
And they just kept giving her, they kept working with her until she got it. And that's, you just have to find, and I know.
But now it feels like one woman owns the women's division, and it's her, and that's it. Because even with some of the backstage drama that goes on, I think that maybe that's gone to her head a little bit, and I worry about that a great deal.
Yeah, and there's just, and I know, and I get it. Like, I know there's so many wrestlers, and I know it's not an easy thing to do, and I know it's not as simple as it sounds, and I get that, but it's frustrating to hear take what you can get when that's what
I agree with that.
30 years. It's just
one last thing I want to say about this is, if I was Tony Khan, I'd be embarrassed that I have so many people on the roster who look so much better everywhere else. Marina Shafir looked amazing in Bloodsport.
She looked amazing in Revolver.
Yeah.
She looks so good.
And then Trish Adora being so much better everywhere else.
Yes.
And then you've got her and you don't even use her.
Yeah,
exactly.
That brings me back to LaRon's comment. That's the best I've ever seen Trisha Dora look, which I can't wait to go back and watch that. Why can't AEW book her? This is where she looks like a competent wrestler, and ditto for Marina Shafir. And
both of them are such strong style wrestlers. It's like fun to watch. I want to watch them.
Yeah, Trish just did she did a stint in the dojo in the LA dojo a few months ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Marina has, and it sounds like once Danielson is not as active, that maybe Marina will get into Blackpool.
Right. We should.
But yes,
fingers crossed.
Yes.